Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Armed and Dangerous Dawnbringers. Dang it.
You brought
Dawnbringers.
it, didn't you?
Take it from the top.
Rewind.
Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Armed and Dangerous Dawnbringers, Heart of Nightfang Spire, Season 4, Episode 9. This is a regular campaign happening every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern right here on twitch.tv/Mini Terrain Domain. Thank you for joining us. We are going to get started in just a few moments. Couple of quick announcements as per usual. And then we'll do a quick recap and we'll get rolling on the game. First and most importantly, because I don't say this often enough on stream, but Jeremy does and reminded me from last night's game. Wash your damn hands. Wear a mask. That's all. It's not that hard, okay? Just do it. The other thing is we have a chat command that allows you to see the schedule. That is not currently up to date. I do want to, right at the top here, I want to give M a chance to tell us what's coming up. I'm kind of putting them on the spot a little bit, I realize, but our Tomb of Annihilation campaign ended recently. That was every Sunday night for the past nearly 3 years. Over this summer, for several weeks, M is going to be running a Dice on Ice production in that time slot on Sunday nights right here on Mini Terrain Domain. M, what do you got coming up and when does it start?
Excellent. I also appreciate that you let me finish my Skittle before.
Yep, I saw that you put something in your mouth. I'm like, I better vamp.
So I will be running something called The Investigator's Guide to the Paranormal, which is a modern day 5e hack that I am playtesting, that I'm creating, and you will see it first on the channel. And episode 1 should start on the 19th, and it will be every other Sunday. And we have some great players. We have Chris, Mary, Karen, who we've seen here before, as well as Tamiko, who we see a lot in the chat.
Actually, Chris and Mary, I believe, I could be wrong about Chris. I apologize if I'm not wrong. I know that sounded weird. But I believe both Chris and Mary have been on the channel before. I ran a one-shot called Downtime Abbey, in which the entire session was downtime. And it was some amazing players, and I know Mary, and I'm pretty sure Chris was among them as well.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think all of them have been on the channel before. Speaking of Tamiko, Tamiko just subscribed. That means y'all get another domain die. So we'll get those figured out real quick. You can type !domain dice in the chat, or you can watch the messages along the bottom of the stream to see how domain dice work. Most people here know how those work. Look up above Drown and Cantriel, Dan, and V, and you'll see right now there's 110. I'm about to change that. Every time you tip $5 or more, or increments of $5, if you cheer in increments of 500 bits, if you subscribe, or if you resubscribe, or if we get rated, the players are going to earn domain dice. It is our way to let you have an influence on the game. Every time this happens, they can use these dice at any time. It's a pool to re-roll, cause me to re-roll, all the way up to spending 5 dice for the patron's blessing, which is turning a hit into a super crit, which is an automatic double max damage hit, which has been used a few times. And our good friend Spike just popped in as well with another subscription, so getting those domain dice in before we get going. Real quick, down in the lower left hand corner, or all along the bottom, you'll see a variety of logos. As always, we invite you to check out, type in !Jasper for the link to Jasper's Game Day, an incredible charity organization that I am very proud to be partnered with. They work very hard through tabletop gaming to raise awareness and raise funds to support crisis centers around the country for suicide and suicide awareness, with money going directly to support the Teen Lifeline, the National Lifeline, crisis centers, and education all around the country. Additionally, you can check out !Coffee to see and purchase our Mittede roast coffee in partnership with Initiative Coffee Company. For every 12-ounce bag of that you purchase, $3 of that will go towards Jasper's Game Day. Also, we've got Talon and Claw is the little TNC logo there. Talon and Claw is our sponsor partner. You can type in !Sponsor and you'll get a couple links in there. The second link I think they're carrying it on through the holiday weekend, that you can still get in on pre-orders for the Whiskey Barrel Dice Vault. Otherwise, you can check out the first link there to get over to Talon Claw's Etsy store. This is actually the first time I can show these on this here. I just got a package from them, finally. A gift from the wonderful folks at Jasper's Game Day after running Jasper's. This was a surprise, an incredible dice vault, inside of which is a beautiful set of starry dice. My very first ever roll in a game with these dice was in a game run by Fenway during the Thread Raiders Oasis of Hope stream, and I rolled a natural 20 with it. The other thing I got, this thing is heavy. This is an all wood hinged Dungeon Master screen with the Mini Terrain Domain logo emblazoned in it. You can see the spots across the top. You can see the hinge there. Oh my goodness. And there are magnetic spots on the inside where you can put whatever you want. It also came with 12 playing card size dry and wet erase cards, so I can put player information, whatever I want, across the top. Those are available at that first link. They have them in a variety of styles. They are called DM Siege screens. The dice vaults are available, as well as wooden dice and a few other things. But the important thing is, because they are our sponsor, you can use code MTDClaw at checkout and get 10% off of your order. And that will also help to support Mini Terrain Domain, as that 10% gets kicked back to the channel as part of the sponsorship, and to help us make more cool intros and do more cool things with the channel. So check that out. Check out that sponsor. Thank you to D&D Beyond, of course, as always, for granting us insider access. You can mouse over the screen to see all of the players, characters, and I'm running, even though I'm running a 3rd edition module off of a PDF that I purchased from the DMs Guild, I'm still using D&D Beyond for a lot of the other stuff. Okay, I do believe I've covered all of the regular announcements. The last thing that I want to talk about before we get started into the actual play is things continue to suck. There's just no way to say it. Things continue to suck around the world, especially here in the United States, because people aren't washing their hands and wearing their masks and a number of other things. So no curve has been flattened. Things that were open are closing that never should have. I'm not going to get too into the weeds on that. All I'm going to say is things are continuing to suck, and it can be rough. It can be really tough. I think we've all had our struggles with it during this time, but despite the fact that everything is crazy and almost everything is closed or hard to get to, there's still help out there if you're struggling. You do not have to struggle alone. You need to know that no matter where you're at, no matter what's going on, you matter. Your presence here makes a difference, whether you believe it or not. there is help available to you. It will appear, coincidentally, it just appeared at the bottom of the overlay in our scrolling cycling information. Also, Jeremy entered it into the chat. At any time, whether we're on air or off air, you can type !help, and all of these resources will pop up. In the United States, you can call the National Suicide Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. Or you can text 741-741. If you are active duty, military, or a vet, you can press the number 1 after calling that number and be connected with a military specialist counselor. There are other phone numbers and text lines there for our friends in Canada, and there is a hyperlink at the bottom that will take you to a resource at opencounseling.com/suicide-hotlines for phone numbers and text numbers for countries all around the world. Please use those resources if you need them. All right, Dawnbringers. Let's play some Dungeons and Dragons. So, the last thing that happened is, well, we'll get to the last thing that happened in a moment. As you continued to work your way through the spire, working further through the rooms, determined to clear all of these rooms, you entered into a room that was far beyond anything you could have anticipated. The entire room itself was a vampiric monstrosity, an entity that had been unceremoniously raised and combined with others from a crematorium within the spire, creating an entire room that was essentially a vampiric gibbering mouther that caused quite a bit of problems for the entire party, but eventually they were able to subdue the room and subdue the creature through Griveth's turn undead, causing it to slough off the walls and ceiling into the corner, and eventually it attempted to escape down the pipe, but a couple of well-placed shots from Cantriel severed it and ended its unlife. In the ensuing aftermath, the goo that was left behind, they did find quite a few coins and some shiny bits and pieces that they presumably wiped off before putting into their packs, and they continued to explore a couple of rooms that were left, one of which contained an altar that had once again a carved symbol of Gothias, specifically the newly acquired symbol of the Gothias tree, into this wooden surface. Leaving it behind, the party continued on down the stairs, and they emerged into a room that had a small alcove with yet another of these obsidian altars to Ashardalon. Thorgarn has taken it upon himself to destroy these small altars, and in doing so, he completely failed to notice, or rather failed to save from falling through the spring-loaded trap door in the floor, falling into a razor-lined pipe and being ejected out the side of the spire 150 feet in the air. Thorgarn fell into darkness, but the Dawnbringers reacted very quickly, tying all of their ropes together, Fig casting Levitate on himself, working through the pipe, and quickly descending down through the night to the bottom of the tower, and then using Dimension Door to get exactly back where they were in a brilliant use of more magic. Appearing suddenly in the room with the broken and bruised and battered Thorgarn, they went to work healing him. With a quick catch of breath and eyes suddenly opening, Thorgarn came awake, and Talmud leaned over, looked him in the face, and said, "That's why I go first." And that's where we left off, and that's where we are going to pick up at that exact moment, with a quick aside, because we did mention before we came on stream that there had been a short rest, and I believe at least some of the party might have some items that they wanted to spend that time identifying. So we're going to do that real quick. If anybody has something you want to identify, we can do that.
So on the list, I have that we got from a couple sessions ago. There's bracelets that's got bracers in quotation marks, and headdress like a jackal.
Ah, yes.
That is from the 18th.
It doesn't go with my outfit.
So, hold on. Lost my cursor. There we go. All right, so you got the headdress and the bracelets from Aoket, the mummy monk that was hiding out in the I'll think of the name in a minute here.
The monk me.
The monk me.
Now I see a monkey mummy.
In the thing that had all the room that had all the sarcophagi. That's the word I was trying to find. Also vamping while I'm trying to get this stupid
body
PDF
bins.
to resize.
The body bins.
The body bins, is that what you call them? I love that.
The corpse container. I mean, we can have fun with
All
this.
right, so that was in this area here. Just double checking those.
Would be the dead drawers. Would that be?
I was gonna say someone has to do E. The expired egg cartons. I don't know. Those are the cremated ones.
Okay. There we go. All right. So the bracelets, when worn together, are bracers of defense. So they will grant you a +2 to your armor class. The wearer who is attuned to them.
But only if you're wearing no armor or shield, right?
I'm going to assume because you said that that's true.
Are they just standard braces of defense?
Yes.
Yeah, then you can't be wearing armor.
Yeah, so if
I
you're...
just so happen to know a guy who doesn't wear any
I was gonna say
armor.
that sounds like a Griveth accessory.
Oh
No, Griveth is fully armored.
No, I'm joking because Griveth will walk around sometimes without his armor. It's the yes,
Right,
obviously
but-
Talmud. Hello.
Griveth for when he's oiled up in a loincloth.
We've had many oiled up in the posing strap
Yeah.
moments. So yes,
Maybe we can wait till we find some bigger bracers to
Yeah,
cover more.
yeah. I think Talmud should be getting of those.
these are pants-shaped bracers.
Exactly. Absolutely.
I'm sorry. So basically leggings?
The jackal helmet is a helm of teleportation. It has
damn.
It has 3 charges. It does require attunement. It has 3 charges, and while wearing it, you can use an action and expend a charge to cast the teleport spell from it. It regains 1d3 charges, expended charges, daily at dawn.
I would say,
that's real good.
bracers to Talmud and the headdress to Fig.
I don't think Fig
okay
wants
with
to give up his hat.
Fig has his hat. That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking. Like,
I
do
think-
drown? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Drown.
Headdress there, drown.
Yeah, sure. John will take the headdress.
So would you have then worn it and attuned to it during that rest?
Yeah.
So you would have noticed part of that as you're kind of looking it over and getting familiar with it, that when you finally decide to place it on your head, it does seem to change size to accommodate your much larger noggin. And Talmud,
Pendulous melon.
yeah. And Talmud, you would have noticed the same when you first started looking at these bracers, these bracelets. You never would have believed you'd get your hands through the rings, but as you tried, they seem to fit through with no problem and adjust to fit as loose or as tightly as you want them to on your wrists. Was that the only two items then? Or the only items?
I do believe that's all I have on the list that we could actually, do something with.
Yeah, there were a couple items you acquired after the rest.
I've got a medallion of a Chardalon that just says expensive. I don't think that was actually an item.
I think that's just a blinged out holy symbol or whatever.
That's pretty. Give me pretty.
Remind me what the headdress looks like. Is it like Egyptian style thing? Or...
Yeah, so think within Forgotten Realms, we'll call it the Kelemshan themed. Sort of has this black and gold appearance, with a bit of sort of a like a regular helm with these kind of peaked eye holes. It's open, where the nose and mouth is. It has that sort of part that drapes down, but the top part of it is stylized to look like a gold and black jackal, or what in our world we would consider to even represent Anubis.
Sure, sounds good.
All right. Now we will pick up exactly where we left off.
So I think Drown is a bit more scary now. This Anubis knoll, headdress on top of this
11 foot. Yeah, almost 8 foot tall. Well, you're probably 8 feet tall now with that hat.
And now I can be anywhere.
That's a terrifying thought, in a good way.
As long as he's on our side.
Exactly.
So if we're going to continue on, and I look to Talmud, as you said, you go first.
So, as a reminder, the room that you are in, there is the alcove. The room you're actually in is 20 feet by 10 feet. There's a 10 by 10 alcove in the northwestern corner where you fell. There's a door on the northeastern corner that you came through from the spiral staircase from the top level, or the previous level. And there's a door to your left and to your right. West and east.
So, I guess I'll start on the one to the left. Just head over there. Kind of look back to make sure that everybody seems like they're ready. And then he's going to try to open that door.
Wait 1 second. Cantriel will tie a portion of her rope around his waist really quick and hold on to the other end.
That might be a good idea.
Well, better safe than sorry.
Absolutely.
I thought he wanted to go first because he wanted to fly.
Do you mind? He's going to take the coil of rope from Cantriel and hand it to Drown. I just feel a little safer if he's...
Sure, yeah.
Oh, gee, sorry. And she turns her bracers.
Right, I forgot to do this.
Remember, I'm strong now.
Never mind.
Sure, have the tall one hold.
Yeah,
you
what's your strength, Cantriel?
Strength is
Might be better than Drown's.
now 19. Hi.
The issue might be weight. If he's significantly heavier than you, you might be able to
Yeah.
hold him. But
Yeah, I know. There's the
That's true.
physics behind it.
Well,
It's just
I mean,
funny.
there's one way you can find out for sure.
No, that wasn't the temptation. There was just hypothetical talking between players, not for DM ears. You know.
All right.
razor blade sliding is a good way to experiment.
That I think I had nightmares about that slide.
Too real, dude.
It's
It was like an urban legend that we were always told when we were kids that the water parks put razors
Yes.
at the bottom of the slides in the
Of
off
course,
season.
I live near like where that Death Water Park is. So hey, that was
Ugh.
actually a true story.
yeah, last session I was like, did Jigsaw build this dungeon or like because
Let's play a game. I don't know. I've never seen those movies.
the first one's really good.
Okay. Tell
All right.
You you
Door to the left.
You approach the door.
Yes, with my new rope belt.
Do you open the door in typical Talmud fashion? Just open the door?
Yes.
Okay. The door is not locked.
I don't understand the question.
Right? There's another way.
The door does open without issue. And as you look into the room, you're in this door opens in the southeastern corner or tip, if you will, of a wedge-shaped room. Looking straight from the door to the west, the room extends about 30 feet. It also goes 30 feet to your right, to the north, but the northwestern wall is a curve connecting the other 2 points. So this is another outer wall of this area. Inside the room, you see that the floor, in fact, as you push the door open, it kind of catches a little bit on something. The floor is covered in splintered stone. There's bits of rotten tapestry, smashed wood, broken glass, and this sort of grayish, brownish muck. There's also somebody else in this room. There's two somebodies in this room. Large albino white creatures that appear as though they are cleaning up. They're moving the debris into untidy piles, sort of separating it, but not too discriminately. These creatures have very white fur, and they have each 4 clawed arms. The largest, or the two of them, are both very large and have their backs to you as you can sort of hear them as they pass by each other, and they're sorting stone and other debris. Immediately to your left is a door on the south wall, and for 10 feet beyond that is another door on the south wall. Make me a stealth check at disadvantage because you did not previously make any attempt to be quiet when you open the door. And I'm going to check.
Well, I got a 20 and an 18. So with disadvantage, that turns into a dirty 20 on my stealth.
All right.
I don't know how that's possible that Talmud just did that, but there you go.
I'm going to use my new D20 from Talon Claw. So you said a dirty 20? As you open the door, they continue as if they haven't seen anything. They're just continuing to work on that far side of the room, sorting through the debris. What would you like to do?
I think I'm just going to back up and kind of push the door mostly to, maybe not all the way closed, but at least mostly to. He's going to turn around. Did anybody else see that?
Anybody that was looking in behind Talmud would have seen the creatures.
Yeah.
Do we want to go through there?
Do we ever really want to go through doors?
Was there another way to go? That wasn't like the only door in the hallway, right?
The room you're in has another door on the opposite wall to the east.
Drown will just kind of silently point at the other door.
Go that way?
We should at least try it.
All right.
So, Talmud, you head over to the other door, or does somebody else open that door? No, it looks like they're all throwing Talmud in front of the door.
I was going to say,
Like it.
just before
Fair
everyone once everyone else has walked away, I'm going to take, because I have some caltrops in my equipment, I'm going to scatter those in front of the door with the two big white ugly guys. Let's just,
Nice.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So you head over to this other door. Are you changing anything about the way you open the door, or are you opening it? I'll stop asking. I'll just assume, unless you say something, you're opening it in typical Talmud fashion.
There's no such thing as locks, traps. They're just inconveniences.
You open up this door. You are looking into a chamber that is looks to be from north to south nearly 100 feet long. Connecting those 2 points, the entire wall curves around in a big arc. At its widest point, it is 40 feet. This room accounts for nearly half of the space of the spire. Stone blocks of all sizes squat in this chamber under a thin layer of dust. Some of the blocks are completely square, but some of them show evidence of having been sculpted or being in the process of being sculpted. Rough heads, arms, faces, and other forms are visible in the stone. A workbench against the eastern curve of the wall is cluttered with rusted stoneworking implements that Talmud, above anybody else, you probably recognize. Thorgarn would, of course, recognize them, being of the Dwarven heritage as well. But Talmud, you specifically worked in stone cutting prior to joining up with this adventuring party. In addition to that, you see moving in various places in and around the room. First 1, then 2, 4, 6 total of these creatures. These 4-armed, white-furred, gorilla-like creatures. And I'd like you to roll me a perception check.
That is much more his speed. I got a 3 on the die, so that's going to be a 7 total.
Okay. Who is immediately behind Talmud looking in?
If nobody else would be there, once that spot, I would be there.
I'd be at the very back because I was doing the caltrops.
Okay. Thorgarn.
Drown has been setting up behind the 3 heavy meleeers, so he's a little ways back.
All right. So Thorgarn, go ahead and make me a perception check as well.
Yeah, this doesn't go well. The dwarves don't see crap. Except, when I say that, and then I happen to actually roll well. It's a 16, so that's a 17.
So as these creatures are moving in and around, you see they seem to be doing similar work to the two that were in the other room. Moving things, organizing them, and you watch as one of them comes lumbering from behind one of these partially carved statues, and it turns and sort of rises up a little taller as it's kind of lumbering, using its four arms, almost like, moving in that gorilla fashion. And it puts one of its hands up on one of these big stone blocks, and you hear this, but it seems to be almost muffled a little bit as you realize this creature is wearing a leather mask fashioned to look almost like a skull. And it seems to be barking orders at the other creatures. As it does this, one comes walking up to this large stone, wraps all four arms around it, and starts walking across the room. And then you all sort of feel the floor shake a little bit as it sets it down. These 6 creatures in here appear to be also cleaning and reorganizing.
But they're completely oblivious to the 2 dwarves that are looking in on it.
Let's find out. We've got 6 of them in the room, so I'm going to roll 6 d20s. Dwarves, go ahead and roll me a stealth check at disadvantage. All right, what you got?
That is a 4. Thorgarn.
With disadvantage, I got a 16.
Okay, so 3 of them don't see.
Who
You
are you?
you see the
Ninja.
you see them moving around, and then the one with the mask grabs 2 of them and points over to 2 large stone monuments to the left of the door that you are standing in the doorway of. And suddenly it sort of goes and it holds up its 4 arms, stopping the others.
So
And
when that
all
would
of-
happen,
All of
Everyone
them
pretend
stop
to be stone
moving.
blocks.
so before, when he starts, looking like he acknowledges, then Forge Bane would already be flying.
Well, okay. So you're gonna just launch Forge Fiend across the room.
I mean, does it look like they're, acting aggressive?
What he did was hold up all 4 arms to the other creatures as he sort of went and barked an order, and they all stopped moving.
Okay, all right. Well, then I'll hold. I'll
Hey,
wait.
Jake, can we call this one Tim?
Okay, it took me a minute, which is weird because when I made the sound, I knew exactly what I sounded like. But for a second there, I went to Tim Carney from AbTab. Okay, so that's Tim. I'm writing it down.
He clearly has tools.
It does. Okay. So they are not making aggressive actions towards you at the moment.
Do you speak common?
The creature looks at you and just sort of
I don't I will turn to the smart people in the party, and if you have a solution to talk to them, clearly looking past, Talmud and Griveth.
Oh, for crying out loud. He's going to hold his hand out flat, and he's going to point to them, and then he's going to go like this and point to the door on the other side of the room.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Oh, persuasion. I'm sure that's something that Talmud's good at. Actually, he has a +5 to that. That's a 17.
All right.
He has his charms after all. Where they've been, who knows?
This masked creature known as Tim looks at you, and with all 4 arms, it goes first. Starts smashing its fists down on the ground. 2 of them hit one of the stone monuments next to it, and big chunks of masonry fly out, and it just sort of does that. But it doesn't advance towards you. The others are becoming increasingly agitated.
I think he says no.
Were there
How big is...
Were there any other doors for us to go through, or this was it?
Just these 2.
You're standing in the doorway, having not advanced into the room, so where you're standing, you cannot see any other doors. But the room continues south of you for another 70 feet.
How large is this doorway? This door that we're standing in?
Probably about, I'll say it's nearly 5 feet wide.
Okay, so it looks like they wouldn't have any issue getting through here.
Oh, no.
Okay. They're not quite as big as I was seeing in my head then.
They are considered large.
Yeah.
Size of ogres.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So you might have to duck.
I'd put them at Drown would be smaller than these creatures.
Right.
They probably got a good couple feet on Drown at least, and probably a couple 100 pounds on them as well.
Right. He's gonna turn to Thorgarn and say, "Well, the other room only had 2 of them. It would certainly be better to start there."
So if we back up, what do they do? Or when we back up, what do they do?
Let's find out. More begin doing the smashing fists into the floor. It takes about 2 or 3 steps towards you, and you continue to back out of the room.
Yeah, Talmud kind of puts his hand up like as a sign of no contest. It's fine. We'll come back. And he kind of just shuts the door.
As you pull the door closed behind you, no sooner do you pull your hand off it than you hear what sounds like a large chunk of stone hitting the door. And you hear a lot of on the other side from the other room, and it starts to calm down after a moment.
Oh, that went well.
Is that what I'm like sometimes when I
Yes.
get a little...
Just a little bit.
I'm sorry.
Your
Yes.
white gloves and party manners kind of goes out the window.
Does he have white gloves and party manners?
That's what I was thinking.
I was trying to be generous. What? I can
Back
be
to
nice.
the other room then.
Well, what do we want? 2 or more?
say we start with 2.
The floor,
Okay, oh,
the floor
I need-
is now covered in caltrops.
I need to clean something up first.
I imagine it's almost like you're just kind of getting the last of them laid out when they back out and they're like, no, we're going to go this way. And you've immediately got to start picking them all up.
Cantriel is definitely the kind of person that doesn't just dump the bag out. She like
No.
very meticulously puts them in place.
You have to strategically place it according to stride. That way there's a guaranteed step upon.
Perfect.
It's true. That's a sad thing.
No more than
I think
2
I've got bins of
caltrops
Legos
per
that
stone.
are
Yeah, exactly.
for proof.
You have to have that nice north-south orientation, and you get your
Yeah,
east-west.
I think bins of Legos have proved that you can just dump, and they will absolutely fall. And
But she's never experienced that. This is,
okay.
All right. So it'll just take a couple moments for Cantriel to clean up the caltrops.
muttering.
And once again, Talmud opens this door. And go ahead and make a disadvantaged stealth check unless you do it more quietly this time.
Knowing that there's someone in the room, I will open the door slowly.
All right, then you can take it straight stealth.
Good lord, that's a 17.
As you open up the door and sort of preparing to look in and knowing where these creatures were, you're a little bit surprised to see that both creatures are ambling toward the door with a high enough perception roll and being alerted from the sounds from the other room. They appear to have been on their way to investigate. And there's this moment, I imagine, of startled surprise as they stop in their tracks and sort of looking at you, and
Staring right back at them.
the one of them just sort of does this like, "Huh?" And then and they begin to get incredibly agitated. And at this point, I'm going to say we need to have an initiative roll. You've managed to piss off all of the gorillas, so
That's a phrase you hear often.
put a couple this way, we'll put a few this way. They'll get one. Nope, they're going to get them all riled up.
We haven't chained encounters in a while.
All right. Let's see. I need... So that's going to be... These guys do that. Oh no. Oh no. All right, Griveth, what you got?
I got 11.
Crown.
7.
Cantriel?
23.
Okay. Big.
21.
Thorgarn.
17.
13?
17.
Oh, 17. Talmud.
Also an 11, with a +2 for my dex.
And
I got a +1.
just somebody roll me a d20.
I think Jeremy should. Considering you're
Sorry, I
not.
was... Yeah, 12.
Okay, so that's going to be a 16 for Yesha. Okay, here is your order. Cantriel, you're going to be first. Fig, you will be second for now. And then let's see, Thorgarn, you will be 4th. Yesha will be 5th. And then Talmud will be 6th. Actually, Talmud and Griveth both got an 11. So you'll both work that out at 6. And then Drown. And then these guys.
He's taking the dwarf spot for some reason.
Okay. All right. Cantriel, you are first up. You've got 2 angry Girolons standing in the room. Massive gorilla-like creatures with 4 arms.
Yeah, don't like you. This is not good. And raises the bow to shoot. 1 at each.
And just because I think you guys are far enough in the level, you've seen enough of the level. I'm going to go ahead and reveal the map so that, and I'll move the, where did it go? Where's my, you are here. You are here. So you are here in this room. This, of course, being the very large room. And then this is the room you're looking into with the Girlon.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'll move this up kind of near the top of it, but you're in that room. Just so you have a sense of the spaces you're working in. And then I'm going to go ahead and jump us back to the main overlay. Let me know if you need to see the map again. So Cantriel, you were going to take a shot at one of them?
1 each.
1 each. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
So
roll.
does a 29 hit?
Yeah.
I'm thinking yes, maybe, possibly.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed it do.
Okay. So that one's gonna get 11 points piercing. And then she'll quick shift to the other one. 17 hit.
17 does hit.
Okay, and that's 6 points piercing to that one.
All right. Anything else?
Not right now, no.
All right. And real quick, you got another domain die available thanks to Gamers Theater 17-month subscription. Thank you. So that's going to be Fig. You are next. Keeping in mind, just for visual reference, you've got Talmud is standing in the door, though the average size folk can see over his head well enough, especially these creatures are large enough.
Does Fig hear any noise coming from the other door? Or is there too much noise ahead of him to hear that? Does he think that the other monkeys are coming? The gorillas?
Go ahead and give me
Apes.
a
Things.
perception check.
Okay. 17.
You can hear that the other Girlon in the big room are getting louder and more agitated. They seem to be what you'd expect in like a zoo or in a jungle. Once one starts up and then 2, the rest of them, all around you start hearing this sound.
Okay. So, Fig. I'm looking at sleep, and it doesn't have to be creatures that you can see. It's just creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose. So Fig is going to cast Sleep centered on the point, if possible, where those 3 things would be at the door. behind it. Does that make sense?
What's the range, the area of effect of sleep?
So it's 20 feet, and I
Okay.
can. My range is 90 feet.
Yeah, okay, there would have been 3 close enough. There were 6 total in that room. So, okay. How many dice are you rolling up?
He's gonna cast it at 5th level, and so 10, that. Hello, where is
Are they D8? Is that what it is? I can't remember.
10d8? Yep, there it is. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, that was so satisfying to see 10d8 just on my screen.
Gotta love the
Um,
D&D Beyond dice roller.
So that is going to be 50 points.
All right. You don't know if it had any effect because you're casting it to a place you can't see. You felt the spell dissipate, and you know that it went off. But yeah, at this point, without opening the door and looking, you have no idea if it's actually done anything.
Perfect. Victus wants to make sure that you don't have too many coming from the other direction. So yeah, that's his turn.
All right. Let's see. That's oh no. Okay. So third in our batting order is or rather next in the batting order is Thorgarn.
All right. So you're saying that Talmud is blocking my path into the room?
Talmud is standing in the doorway, yes. But
And-
the doorway is, we've established that they're about 5 feet, so you could sort of move. There's enough room for you to move through his space.
all right. Well, then I will do that, and I will move in to engage one of them. See how this.
For my benefit, left or right?
Go to the right.
Okay.
So Forge Fane is going to hit 22 and 26. Faithkeeper is going to probably miss with a 12.
What was that last number?
12.
That will miss.
So it's going to be 22 points of damage.
Okay.
Magical bludgeoning if it matters.
Yeah, as you go in and just start wailing against this thing that's towering over you, most of your blows are landing around its midsection and into its arms a bit as it's flailing its arms trying to block you. It gets one hand and sort of shoves your weapon out of the way as you miss that last one. And they're still grunting and hollering. But they still seem to be kind of caught. You caught them on their back foot, so to speak. And then it's going to be Yesha is actually going to use her action to go back to the door by that the stairs were. And she ducks inside that stairwell and closes the door just enough that she can see in and see what's going on. And then she is going to, so that's her movement, and then she's just gonna kind of she's got that dagger. I forget who gave her a dagger. Somebody gave her a dagger. Cantriel. She's got the dagger that you gave her, and she just seems to kind of be, you can just sort of see it flash in the light a little bit from Dawnbringer, as she just seems to be holding it and looking just to see if anything's going to try. So she's basically holding in action in case anything comes towards her. So then it will be Talmud, you are next.
I'm actually going to let Griveth go.
Oh, Griveth, you are next.
Hey, thanks. Okay. Griveth calls on Eldath to flow her power into his friends and bless them in this fight ahead. So Griveth is going to bless Cantriel, of course. He's going to bless Talmud, and he's going to bless Thorgarn. So you guys add D4 to your attack and saving throws. Okay, now you can go, Talmud.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you, Zombie File, for another domain die and a subscription.
Woohoo.
All right, Talmud, what will you do?
All right. Talmud is going to... have any of us actually entered the room? Or are we just fighting
Thorgarn.
at the doorway?
Thorgarn pushed
Okay.
past you and started attacking the one to the right.
Okay. Would it be possible to enter the room and move to the other side of the one that Thorgarn engaged with without like moving through engagement with the second one?
Because of where they are, the fact that they were approaching the door, you would have to move within their reach. They have 4 arms that are very long.
Okay.
So these creatures... oh, wait, no. This version doesn't. I got confused between the 3rd edition... Oh, wait, no, that one does. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Yes, they do have a 10-foot reach. I was looking at the bite. I'm like, that makes sense that it's only 5 feet. Yeah, they do have 10-foot reach. So you would have to move through their area of attack. So you would have to take the dodge or the dodge action, I guess, basically. Well, you wouldn't
That
have
would
to.
be
You can do whatever you want.
Entirely too cautious.
I'm not telling you what to do. You can do what you want. But you will provoke opportunity if you move through.
Okay. So in that case, what he'll do is he'll move into position, attacking the same one that Thorgarn is, but just simply not leave engagement with either of them. He'll just maybe make his way around next time.
Okay.
But he is going to brandish Ghost Cleaver and attack recklessly.
Don't forget your bless.
Bless. Thank you. Okay. First up is going to be a 25.
Hits.
Excellent. And then that's going to be 24 on the second.
Yep.
Sweet. All right. Ghost Cleaver is 12, I think. Yep. 6. All right. So the first one is going to be a 7 for damage. And the second is going to be 16 points. Both of those slashing magical.
Sorry, how much was it?
7 on the first one and 16.
16, is that what you said?
I think that's what I said.
All
Who
right.
knows what I said?
Yeah.
Things
So
just fall out of my mouth.
between Cantriel's initial arrow and the 2 dwarves, you're already opening up many wounds, staining this thing's white fur with its own blood. Drown, you are up next. And the doorway is now clear because both dwarves have moved into the room.
Hooray! All right, then I will move up behind the dwarves into the room, and if there's space to, I'm not sure how tight it's getting in there, I'll try and get to the side so I clear the doorway so Cantriel and whoever else can still shoot in.
The right side of the door is pretty covered. You can basically move in, but to engage with the left Garelon, and that would allow Cantriel clearance if she wanted to enter that fray, or anybody, I guess, that wanted to enter that fray, or at least have a shot.
I want to keep the path clear so I'm not.
Yeah. And these things are big enough that Cantriel would still be able to get a shot.
Okay.
Just raise your arm. You're tall enough.
Yeah. All right. So Drown will move in and shift over to the left and begin twirling his staff in his hands and lash out at this thing. and his eyes will flash with green power, and you'll see those writhing spectral tentacles start to wrap around the Giralon. He'll hex it, and hex its strength. And I'll try and smack it twice with my staff.
All right, what does that do again?
What, hex?
Yeah, to its strength,
It has disadvantage on any strength checks it has to make.
including attacks.
No, just check.
Okay,
just
just
ability
checks.
checks.
Just
Just
ability
ability
checks.
checks. Not attack
Gotcha.
rolls, not saving throws.
So
And then
if
anytime I hit it, it takes extra necrotic damage.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, so pair of attacks. Oh, yeah, those are both going to hit. Those are high numbers. So, hex dice. Damage type matter on these?
Damage type always matters. Just assume that it matters.
Okay. Then, necrotic wise, I got 7 points for you. Bludgeoning, 21. Magical.
All right. And that ends your turn?
That ends my turn.
It is now these two Girlon's turn. The one that you are engaged with, Drown, is going to go berserk on you, basically. Not mechanically berserk.
Is it going to go ape?
It's going to go ape.
You didn't say ape shit?
And I just grabbed 5d20s because it's going to make
Oh, were you
5
waiting on
attacks
that one?
against you.
Cool.
And let's see. This one will be the bite. So that's going to be with its 4 arm attacks against you, Drown. That is going to be, or claw attacks, I should say. That's going to be a 15, a 15, a 19, and a 21.
Well, those will all hit.
So that's going to be a total for those of, well, if those other 15s hit, then the 15 for the bite will hit. So that's going to be a total of 5d6 damage plus 20. So you will take 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 plus 16. So 29 slashing damage. And then another 9 piercing damage. So a total of 38 from this Giralon. Thorgarn and Talmud, you're each going to get 2 claw attacks. So Talmud, a natural 20, and
They're going to be at disadvantage.
Oh, they are. Why are they at disadvantage?
Because they have dwarven specters swirling all over them.
Oh.
I don't recall you saying that you raged. That's fine if you did. I just don't remember.
Oh no! Wait! That might only.
I don't remember you saying
Never
you
mind.
raged.
I
did
not rage.
Neither
So
of you
that-
raged.
Nope. I forgot that was only happening whenever I raged. That's my bad.
That's
Proceed, please.
Okay. So that is a 25 and a natural 20. And Thorgarn.
you can re-roll that natural 20 though.
Thorgarn, that's a natural 20 and an 8. So there's a crit on each of you.
Okay, well you're gonna re-roll both the natural 20.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's going to take away those 4 recently earned.
Thank you, audience.
Those were just earned tonight, pretty much. So I'll bring you back up
because
with
our
these.
awesome viewers know that this moment is about to happen.
All right, so
Exactly.
I'm gonna re-roll the exact same dice. So Talmud, that is now a 22 and a 21 on you, or 25, 22 and a 25, and Talmud, that is a 9 and an 8 on you.
So they both miss.
The bite is a 12 on you, Thorgarn. So I think that misses as well. Talmud, you will take 9 plus 8, 17 slashing damage from the 2 claws that rake into you. As they just, a whale of claws and fangs and spittle flying, a bit of blood from the one that's so brutally wounded from the two of you, and that's going to take us to the top of the order with Cantriel. It is once again your turn.
Well, we're gonna just keep doing the shooty thing.
It sounded like you said the shooty thing.
No, the shooty thing. Hopefully, considering some of the numbers I have, they're not shitty. Oh, they definitely are not. So we have a.
Get blessed.
We have a. Oh no, that's right. The bless. I gotta add those in. Okay, so then that is going to be a 26 and a 27 to hit.
Yeah.
Cool. Then that's going to be for the first one, they're going to take on 5 points piercing.
Are you splitting them again?
Yes, of course.
All right. So.
Oh wait, yeah, 5 points piercing. The second one is 10 points piercing.
Okay. So the one to the right is looking much worse off. It's still got some fight in it, but it's in bad shape.
Then bonus action. Fig darling, why don't you do some of that nice sparky shooty stuff that tends to mark true and gives you bardic inspiration. Because it's got to be sarcastic and pithy.
All right. Remember, Fig, when I said you were number 2 in the round for now? The door on the eastern side comes crashing open, and a sea of arms and fur begins to pour into the room. I'm going to say, because of their position in the other room and their movement speed, that only the first 3 are able to get in on this round, but you can see the other 3. And they are going to come in and start wailing on Griveth, Fig, and Cantriel. So let's start with Fig. As this, and the one that comes in that attacks you, Fig, has the mask. And you would also notice there's all 6 of them. None of them are asleep. Okay, so Fig, that is a 25, a 25, a 22, an 11, and a 13. What's your AC? Sorry, you were muted.
15.
So 3 of them will hit you.
Can I deflect one of those?
Yeah, you can impose disadvantage on the bite if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So I'll re-roll the bite attack. That becomes a 15, so it's still gonna hit. But you still kind of get in there and try your best. So Fig, you are gonna take from the bite. That's gonna be 7 points of piercing, and then you're gonna take 9 plus 8, 17 points of slashing from this sort of alpha Giralon. As he charges into the room at you. From either side of him, the other 2 come. Griveth, the next one leaps in on you, and I'm specifying that's the bite attack. Okay. Griveth, that is going to be... What's your AC?
19.
None of these are going to hit. As this one comes running in, when you imposed yourself to block, to save Fig, sorry, Tomiko's comment got me. If he's able to bite with the mask on, it means he's wearing his mask wrong, probably around his chin. Think of it like a luchador mask, not like a PPE mask. Anyway, Griveth, you in trying to save Fig, you actually end up saving yourself, because you put your shield up, the first Giralon sort of shoves it aside in the path of this one, and you just hear this and it bites down on the top edge as you're just getting bashed and bashed and bashed, and none of these will hit. Cantriel, what's your AC?
Why? 15.
Okay, so the first 2 swings of its fists come wild. It actually starts swinging before it gets to you. And then that is a dirty 20, a 16, and a 24 to hit. All 3 of them?
2 of them.
Okay, so that'll be 4. They both rolled 19s.
Shut up.
Yep. I'm using
Damn it.
I'm using the I forget what it's called, but the red dice that came with the new starter set. Right?
Well, stop.
So yeah, that's a 25, a 25, and a 24. So you
Lovely.
will take 16 slashing from the claws, and you will take 5 piercing as it bites into you.
Ow!
The one that bites into you, Cantriel.
Please tell me it doesn't make that noise.
No, but you notice out of the corner of your eye, because you have the most ridiculous passive.
Yes, it's
right
20 now.
You see this. The door to the stairwell open, and Yesha comes rushing out with her dagger. And I would like you, Cantriel, to roll me her d20.
Oh, okay. We'll roll the pretty purple one
roll
for her.
for her attack.
Okay. Crit.
Okay. So Yesha comes charging out and sort of leaps up, driving this dagger that you gave her into this creature. Go ahead and roll me the d4. It'll be a d4 plus 4.
Okay.
Well, just roll me the d4. And then roll me 4d6.
4d6. Okay, well, 2 of those are going to be Muse die, so.
Because she's going to get sneak attack.
Okay, so that was a 2 on the d4. And then it's going to be. Oh, wait, mathing. Okay, so that is 11.
11 on those, so 13 on top of what would be 8 and 24, so 42, 45 points of piercing damage as she drives this thing right into a vital spot.
Yesha!
And Yesha is now clinging to the side of this Giralon. And let's see, it would have been the third one that took 45. Okay. That was her held action, waiting for something to come nearby. And Spike asked if your dice were made of metal, because that made quite the sound when you rolled them.
This particular set is from Easy Roller Dice, and they're aluminum.
Nice.
I
love Easy Roller Dice. Them. Okay, so I just saw in the chat Scotty claiming an AC 30. Okay, so that was their turn. Now, Fig, it is your turn. You are currently engaged directly with the Alpha.
Yeah. However, I think in the interest of the group as a whole, he wants to cast Fireball centered on those 3 that are like coming up.
All right.
Yeah.
So these 3 will
a Dex saving throw.
Make Dex saving throws, and what's the DC?
17.
All right. That is a 6, a 10, and a 9. All 3 of them fail. So go ahead and roll the damage, and then tell us what this looks like as you launch this fireball past the chaos into this room.
I imagine that it looks like Fig is gearing up to almost punch this Girlon just winding up, and then you see he pushes past, like his fist comes right beside this alpha, and this huge just mass of fire hurtles past all the others and into this door frame where the other 3 are, and that is going to do 40 points of fire damage.
Okay. All right. I'm going to check
Run
something.
in the other room.
Okay. Fig, anything else?
That is it.
All right. That's going to take us to Thorgarn. The one you and Talmud are engaged with is still alive, and you can hear behind you in the other room chaos is erupting. I mean, you can barely hear. I'm going to say that communication is going to be difficult amongst yourselves because it's just 8 Girlons going insane right now.
So they're going ape.
They're going ape shit.
My
Why did I not anticipate all these puns? What is wrong with me? I'm slipping.
All right, well, my brain is just apparently not connected. I'm having a hard time doing simple math here. I think my low is a 28.
Yeah, at this point, you guys have basically bracketed their AC. You're trying to hit an AC 13, and so far, some of you have been doubling their AC. So,
All right. So let me go ahead and. Oh, that's quite pathetic. All right. So that is going to be 9, 18, and then so 18 with Forge Fane, and Faithkeeper is going to do 12. So total of 30.
so Thorgarn, what does it look like when you kill this first Girlon?
So it's he understands the fight that we're in. His impulse to not just attack in the last room when they noticed us seems to have fallen to the wayside as he hears noises going on behind us. He doesn't know for certain, but he's not raging. He's not out of it. So he's trying to focus fire, get this guy down. So he's got 3 swings. So his first one, he brings into the thing's kneecap, which actually brings the chest within actual arm distance, because these things are massive. And you got to remember that, Thorgarn isn't quite 4 foot tall. He's, short even for a dwarf. So when the knee gives out and the thing comes down, a Faithkeeper, sinks into the thing's chest and curls down even more, and then Forge Fane buries itself right in the side of his skull.
All right, it collapses in a brutalized mess. Yesha will go next, and since it's her turn, she's going to continue to stab at this one that is on you, Cantriel. Okay, Scotty, go ahead and roll me a d20 for Yesha.
Ooh, good roll, 19.
All right, so that's going to be a 23 to hit. So she definitely strikes into this thing. And because Cantriel's engaged, it's going to be another sneak attack. So go ahead and roll me 1d4 and 4d6. she's small enough. It's almost like this thing doesn't know she's there.
Do you want me to roll again?
No, so I'm gonna have Scotty roll the damage.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
1d4, 1d4, and 4d6.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, total of 19.
All right, plus 4, so that's 23. Wow. In 2 shots, Yesha has done 68 points of damage to this Girlon.
Oh, crap.
I mean, she's just literally jumped up, got a handful of fur, and she's just driving this dagger into its neck.
Yeah, at this point, I'm wondering who rescued who.
It's like, what are you doing? Why aren't you writing our deeds down?
All right, so, and then...
What, Griveth's not falling in love yet?
Give me a few more hours.
Well, he still
Nah, you meant minutes.
he still has Cantriel to admire, so it's hard to outshine that.
Not if she has her dagger back.
It is hard to outshine that, yeah.
All right, so that then takes us to Talmud and Griveth.
Okay.
Talmud's going first.
Yeah. All right. So the one that we were toe-to-toe with has fallen. There's one more that's still up in the room where we are, and the others are still outside of that. Yes?
Yes. Droomer, you drown in Thorgarn. You drown in Thorgarn are. There's 1. Then
Perfect.
3, then 3.
Okay. So the one that we're still in the room with, I am now going to work my way around the other side of, and then I'm going to attack twice with Ghost Cleaver yet again.
And I'm going to allow you advantage because you're technically flanking. You got it sort of between, I mean, it's up against the wall, Drown's there, Thorgarn's there. Yeah, you get advantage on this.
Okay. And as he's doing so, as he's moving into that position, once again, his tattoos begin to glow and his shape kind of changes as a spectral dwarven face will appear out of his own. And yeah, it's Uncle Orlac. He's kind of bitter, furrowed face. If you want something done right, you're gonna have to fucking do it yourself. Ah! And he's gonna swing twice. 15 on the first one.
Yep.
All right. And then 28 on the second. So let me see. My rage bonus. Hang on a second here, sorry. Rage is a +3 currently. All right. So the first one is 10 points. And the second is 18.
And are you guys remembering to roll your bless? I forgot with
I did not.
With Yesha too, but they were all hits, so it didn't matter. But as long as Griveth is, and he didn't get hit at all, so he didn't have to make a concentration check. Well, you don't have to concentrate on bless anyway, do you? Bless just hits, or do you? That's right, you do. You do.
There is a concentration,
Yep.
yeah.
I don't play paladins very often, but I play cleric, so I should know that.
No excuse.
Okay. So Talmud, you've put quite a hurt on this thing, and it's looking very much like the trapped animal that it is, caught between the 3 of you. Griveth, however, you are in the other room. You've got this thing that's pummeling your shield, attempting to bite it. You've got another one on the other side of you that's attacking at Fig, Cantriel, and Yesha are engaged with one. What are you going to do?
I am throwing myself in the way, trying to protect the others. And I turn to the thing, in my attack posture and say, "Be you beast or intelligent creature."
You get a face full of spray as it just does that gorilla thing with its lips pulled back and just in response.
All right. I'm like, "You damn dirty ape." Okay.
How long were you sitting on that one? Since the encounter started.
Yes.
All right, Charlton Heston.
Okay, so Griveth is going to show him Dawnbringer. So here we go. First attack. Oh, that's a 15, but that is a hit, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yay.
Showing it to him, or are you actually going to stab him with it?
Well, showing it and then stabbing it.
Watch how I make this blade disappear repeatedly.
Right, in your body. That's a 17 to hit, so I'll do damage all day for that.
All day.
All day. That's 20, 36 points of damage.
Okay.
And then Griveth is going to do a bonus action, and he is going to call on Eldath. Eldath, protect my friend. Shield her from her enemies. And I cast Sanctuary on Fig. Or I should say him. Did I say her? Him. Sorry.
All right. So okay. So that makes it Drown's turn. You also will have advantage against this Girolon because the three of you sort of have it cornered.
Okay, then I will lay into it and see if I can put it down. First one is going to be a hit. Second one, 15.
Yep.
15, yeah, all right. Jesus, rolls not great. 20 total between bludgeoning and necrotic.
How do you kill this one, Drown?
So he spins his staff around, drives it into the thing's gut, which makes it double over. And every time he hits it, there's a flash of that deep sea kind of shimmering light, like sun barely shining through the ocean water. And as it doubles over, he spins the staff and just staves in the back of its skull.
And it sort of crumbles, sliding down to the wall, lying at your feet between Talmud and you. The pool of blood growing, but and you had sort of moved. You personally, Drown, are standing next to a door, and you can see behind Talmud on the same south wall as you that other door, with the Girolon sort of slumped to the floor between them. Back in the other room. So it would have been these Girolon's turn, but for their turn, they're going to continue to be dead. So that brings us back to the top of the order. Cantriel, you've got this Girolon that's already taken some, drawn some blood, and more of its blood is raining down on you as Yesha is driving her dagger repeatedly into this thing's neck.
Well, Talmud will be proud. And go to... Yes, I have it. Don't worry. I'll go to shoot. It's just the one now? Or
well, there's three of them in this room with you and three more in the other room.
Then I'm still going to keep dividing my shots. So the one that Yesh is on and the one that I can get right after type of situation. However, I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark before shooting, because why not just make this a little bit more fun? And plus lots of dice.
So wait, you're attacking the one on you.
There's one right on top of me now, or?
Yeah. So how are you attacking it?
Okay, so then let's we'll switch over to my rapier. Yeah, this is your rapier. So stab it twice with my rapier and still have Hunter's Mark on. Ooh, that's a lovely sound. I like that sound. Yeah, we're hitting because that's a 21 and a 26.
While you're rolling up that damage, I just want to point out the fact that Tomiko, in the process of gifting Dr. Faust's Painting Clinic a sub, said, "You're in here all the time. You need to be able to toss the ham." Which sounds like a euphemism. But if you've seen our emotes...
You're not.
I need to make a Ham 2.0 shirt that just says "Toss the Ham."
No, honey, you don't. Please don't. No, you really don't.
I kind of do. No.
Phrasing. We need to make a shirt that's called phrasing, okay?
Okay, so how much damage did you do?
Well, the first stab was 15 points, and the second stab was 17 points.
All right. That was both of them?
15, 17.
Oh, 15 and 17.
Yeah.
Cantriel, how do you kill this one?
Since she's covered in blood, she's gonna just steer into it, and she'll start screeching, trying to imitate Talmud when he goes in for one of his kills. Because she doesn't usually do close combat either. And so she just, makes this rather bizarre screechy scream sound as she stabs this twice in the gut. And then she'll pull the rapier back and wipe it off on her skirt and shout, "Is that how I'm supposed to do it?"
As it comes crashing to the ground at your feet, suddenly Yesha is looking you in the eye, and you just see this sort of wild look in her eye, and her hair has sort of fallen in her face, and she is just covered, like half of her face is covered in blood as she just sort of and just pushes her hair out of the way, and then just kind of gives you a sheepish look as she looks around at both of you covered in blood, sort of shrugs and turns like she's ready for whatever else is coming at all of you.
I'll smile at her and I'll actually help wipe a smear off her other cheek type of thing. You missed a spot, sweetie.
All right, that's going to take us to these Giralon's turn. So it's let's see here. Okay, so Tim, the Alpha Giralon, is still engaged with Fig and is going to make his 5 attacks on you.
She
Fig
has sanctuary.
Oh yeah, it has to make a wisdom.
He has sanctuary.
All right, any creature
He has
who
sanctuary.
targets the warded creature with an attack or harmful spells. Okay.
You have to make a wisdom saving throw to attack.
So as it attempts to bite you, it's going to. What is a Giralon's wisdom? Not great. What's the
My DC is 15.
DC's 15. Its wisdom is +1. It just makes it. So it will bite Fig. So that'll be a dirty. Or wait, that's not a hit though. That was the wisdom save. So it's going to attempt to bite you and fail. It's going to pass its second. It's rolling really high on these wisdom saves, and then rolling single digits for the attack. It fails on this one, so it turns its last remaining attacks on you, Griveth. So these 3 attacks are going to be a 12, a 9, and a critical hit. So,
Reroll a critical hit.
So for 2 domain dice, so let me readjust here. Let's see, take that away. Turn that into a 100. Okay. I will re-roll the same die. That new attack is a 17 to hit. So it swings and bites ferociously at Fig, and then suddenly, Fig, you see it turn away from you, swinging wildly and blindly at Griveth, missing completely on all of them. Then there is the one that's on you, Griveth. On the other side of you, it's going to make all 5 of its attacks at you. That is going to be, the bite attack is a 12. There's a 19 and a 22. The 15 misses, I think. And then it critically fails in one of its attacks. So, I'm going to roll the 2 hits on you. So, Griveth, you will take 16 points of slashing from these claws. But as it does so, its other arm swings around, and the one that's swinging wildly kind of gets in its way, and it causes this one to open itself up. You can get 1 opportunity attack on it.
You'll pay for that, monster. Oh yeah, that's a 23. That's a hit.
Yep.
Not so great. 13 damage.
Okay. Fig. And actually, Cantriel, you would notice this. Fig, because your previous attack had been directed that way, and Cantriel, just because you see everything. The 3 Girlon that Fig firebombed in the other room are not coming into this room, and they're nowhere to be seen. So that is going to take us to Fig. You are still engaged with the alpha.
So does that mean there are 3 left?
There's 2 in this room and 3 that took off running. They're out of sight. The ones that you burned.
And okay, and then Griveth and Cantriel are, everyone's kind of right near everyone, I think. So I think that Fig is going to, he's going to try and firebolt this alpha, and I know it's at disadvantage, but he doesn't have very much. He's not very good at melee. So
Okay.
That is a 16.
That'll hit.
So that is going to be 13 points of fire.
All right.
Also, never mind. Nope, that's it.
Okay. Thorgarn. The Girlons in the room that you're in are both dead.
All right, so there's one on Fig, the one on Cantriel.
One on Griveth.
The one on Cantriel just went down, right?
Yep. Cantriel and Yesha took care of that one.
All right, so then I am. Is there a way to determine which one looks worse, the one on Fig or Griveth?
The shot, as you kind of look into the room and Fig takes this shot at it, it's the first hit that the alpha has taken.
What about the other one? Is that
The other one's looking pretty bad.
all right? But that one's on Griveth, so I will go assist Fig.
Okay.
I am going to use a domain die.
You guys are getting dangerously close to dropping below 100.
I don't know. Might have to email Joe.
I think when they drop below 100, Joey just hears. He just knows. He has a
There's like
domain
this
dice sense.
Bat signal.
Exactly. Except it's the Dawnbringer single.
All right, so my low is now 21.
All right.
Oh, 2 8s on the weapon damage. That's nice. So that is gonna be 36 points of damage.
Thorgarn, you get another kill.
Nice.
So you were, wait. You were going for the alpha, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so no, you don't get a kill. Sorry.
All right. Well, then he's got.
But you do brutalize this one.
So like I'm just going for like kneecaps and ankles, trying to bring this guy down to his knees.
Yeah, he went from not getting hit at all to suddenly getting blasted and pummeled. Yesha is going to. She's going to run over to the door where, to the room where the other three were, and she sort of throws herself up against the door like this, and then real quick looks in. You see her kind of do that and pulls her head back in. She looks at you, Cantriel, and she goes, "I don't see him." And that's all she's gonna do. Talmud and Griveth.
Go ahead, Talmud.
Okay. Like those 2 squirrels. Okay. So the room that we're in is now void of these. So Talmud is going to run back out into the room between and kind of take stock of the situation. I think one of those is dropped, but there's still 2.
Yes, the alpha with the skull, the leather skull mask, and the other one. So the alpha is now engaged with Fig and Thorgarn, and then Griveth is on the other one.
Okay, so I'm gonna head to Hannibal Tim and attack him twice with Ghost Cleaver. And yeah, I'm gonna reckless attack again.
Bless.
Yes, thank you. It's like Eldath's sweet voice in my ear.
And I'm sorry, Jeremy,
23.
which one were you going for?
The one with the mask, the alpha.
Okay, perfect.
23 on the first one. And 25 on the second.
Yep. Wait, what? Sorry, I got distracted because it sounds like World War II right outside my window here.
Oh, that's what that popping is. Now I hear it.
Yeah, that's. I think my neighbor bought all of the fireworks and has been setting them off every day.
You were saying that last night.
Yeah, every day.
I didn't hear it last night, though.
All right, so what was your total damage again?
I hadn't rolled damage yet.
Oh, those are your
hits. There's a 23 and a 25 to hit. Yeah. I'm assuming that a 23 and a 25 will hit.
Yep.
Good. All right. Right. The first one is going to be 19 points of magical slashing damage. And the second will be 11 points of magical slashing damage.
All right. Yeah, he's looking real bad right now.
Good.
And anything else?
I stare menacingly at him.
And he gives you one of those spittle flying everywhere. Griveth.
All right, so Griveth is, toe to toe with this thing, trying to keep this thing off of Fig. And he hears that weird kind of yelling in the other room and thinks that maybe Cantriel was hurt and hollers out to ask if she's
Cantriel is standing
fine in there.
Cantriel is standing right next to you.
Oh, I'm kind of picturing I wasn't looking that way, like I was the opposite, facing the opposite direction.
Yeah, she'd be about like 5.
So I hear her
behind
battle
you.
cry behind me, and I didn't realize that battle cry. I thought she was hurt, so I call out, "Cantriel, are you hurt?"
I killed something. Go away.
Oh, good. Okay. Okay. So, Griveth, relieved, decides that he is going to cast a spell. I'm going to cast. So he calls on Eldath. He drops the bless, and he calls on Eldath to give his friends vitality and strength and life to beat this challenge. So I'm going to cast Aura Vitality. Yeah, so that's my action.
What does that do?
Basically, I can heal at the end of each of my turns for a minute. So yeah, so I'm going to heal Fig, so I don't attack. Let me get the roll here. Okay. Oh, Fig heals 10 points.
All
I'll
right.
start my timer die on that. Okay, cool.
Drown from the other room. Alone in the other room with 2 dead Girlons.
Well, the party's over in here. Yeah, so I'll just kind of step over into the doorway. How many more Girlon do we have active?
2.
Kicking out here? 2. Both of them wounded at this point?
Severely.
All right. Then I will, as a bonus action, Drown's Eyes will flash again and shift the hex over to the other lesser Girlon, not the alpha.
Okay.
How far away is it? Does it look like I can get close to it? Or
Yeah. We're 10 feet into the room. Yeah, you'd be able to get to it.
Okay. Then I will move in and lay about me with this here stick. 2 hits. Nice. Uh, 20 total.
20 total damage.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, he's hurt.
Across 2 hits.
Much worse. But is still clinging to life.
Yep. That's what a pile of 1s and 2s gets you. All right, that's my turn.
Cantriel, the fight is raging around you. Yesha has sort of ducked over to this other door. You're not engaged with any of them, though they're all fair. Everybody else is engaged with these 2 remaining Girlon, which are both in pretty bad shape.
How far away are they from me then?
Within 10 feet.
Within 10 feet.
Enough that you could shoot without disadvantage if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to switch back to Sempre. Still have Hunter's Mark up. So yeah, I'm going to do a 1 and a 2. So let's get the dice out again. Ooh, those are pretty numbers. 29 and 22 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. And then we have 13 to the first one. And really? 17 to the other one.
Cantriel, describe how you end this, killing both Girlons with 1 shot each.
Oh, she's just gonna be like, you know what? I'm tired of this. And she's just, there, we're done. Can we go? Like, she's had enough.
Almost like it was nothing but a nuisance, Cantriel drops the last remaining Girlons. They slump to the ground. There are a total between these two rooms of 5 dead, large, 4-armed gorilla creatures. And, wait, is that right? Yes, 5. And, Yesha looks again through the other room, looks back at all of you, and says, I don't see any sign of the others. There were 3 that got away.
Okay.
And that is where we are going to take a break, since we all discussed it and decided to push through the fight. We are going to take a 10-minute break, and then we will be back for a little less than an hour of gameplay. So stick around through this break. Sorry, I briefly lost my mouse. So we will see you on the other side. Thank you for everybody who has stuck around or who is popping in. Thank you for all of the wonderful subscriptions and everything. Feeding domain dice that they have been gone through quite a bit tonight, actually. When your baddies get 5 hits each, there's a lot of rerolls that are wanting to take place. So we will be back in 10 minutes. the sound that you all hear right now is, for many of you, it's the sort of combined labored breathing of everybody from exerting themselves, and you hear this wet dripping sound of the blood dripping from multiple weapons pooling at the floor along with everybody else from all of these dead Kirillons. What would you like to do? As I say, a huge thank you to Spike for gifting 10 subscriptions. I believe that is what that just said. Yeah. Holy cow. 10 subs to the chat.
Before we move on, I cast the aura on myself, so I have a minute of the aura being active. So I want to use that minute to heal people. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So let me get my guy here. Who is in the worst shape? Is it Fig?
I'm down 38.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty bad. All right.
How much can you heal at a time?
2d6 for another 9 rounds.
Okay.
I could definitely use some of that.
Would you allow me to roll it all at once and then divvy it up?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That'll make it easier.
Since you had said this prayer and geared up for it, and in the aftermath, you could basically just start pouring that healing into your party. I'll allow that.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah. Okay.
It makes sense.
So,
it's the goddess of whose symbol is the waterfall. This healing energy is just sort of falling and pooling, and you're collecting it so that you can distribute it. So
ministering to my friends. Okay, so I got a total of 35 heal. So we can divvy that up. So probably Fig and Drown are the worst, right? Worst off.
Oh, I don't think so. It looks like Talmud is down 74.
Oh,
yeah,
shoot,
down
are you?
74 points. Yeah.
Oh, crap. Okay.
I was down before we even headed into that fight. So.
Okay. Fig, are you down 20? Are you down? Wait, let's see.
I'm down
26.
Why don't we do this? Why don't Drown, Fig take 10 points, and then I'll give 15 points to Talmud.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
How does everyone feel about taking a short rest?
Are we going to be able to take a short rest with, someone upstairs or downstairs technically being aware of what's going on?
Yeah,
there was a lot of racket.
We'll have to see if we're kind of secure first.
Right. As far as secrecy, that's been blown for a good long time, though.
Right. Oh yeah. But yeah, I'd be good with it as long as we can secure the area.
I mean, we're not too far from the stairs. We could go back up. And do we have, a hammer and pitton to try and, pin a door closed?
Oh yeah. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah. How far back would you want to go?
Just up to one of the clear rooms.
The nearest room that was clear would be, because you're still pretty much in the first room you entered at the start of the session. Typical. So you could go back upstairs, and there was the room that had the shrine that had the newly etched symbol of Gothias in it that Thorgarn had once again smashed. That room was otherwise empty. At the opposite end of the hallway from the gibbering mouther room.
That's fine by me.
So you can absolutely do that. You head up there. Yesha takes a moment, kind of sticks her head into the other room, and actually takes a few steps inside. And as you're all heading up the stairs, she just says, I don't see them at all. But there's another door to the south in that room. All right. So, is there anything you want to do or talk about, or anything in particular while you are on your rest?
Don't forget Song of Rest.
Cantriel has her Song of Rest to grant you extra.
Sure.
Oh,
what is
cool.
it? Is it a D8 now?
That's what I was just looking up. I believe it's a D6 still. It's the inspiration that's a D8 now. One moment, please. No, that's Ranger still. Hold on.
Mhm.
It is a D6.
Oh, cool. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm. And she'll even start singing if you want.
Sure. We never turned down a Cantriel song.
Okay, cool.
No, of course not.
Here your glass is empty. It's a hell of a long way home. Why don't you let me take you? It's no good to go it alone. I never would have offered, but you seem so real to me. And after all the noise I've heard, it's refreshing not to see. You don't have to explain. Don't ever expect it from me. So don't tell me I haven't been good to you. Don't tell me I have never been there for you. Don't you know that why is simply not good enough? And she'll just kind of sing it to sort of keep things lulled and peaceful, just in case there's any things that go bump in the dark out there too.
As you all take this extra healing, I would like you to all level up.
Seriously? For real?
Yeah, you're going to level to a level 11 now.
That's what?
Oh my god, I'm so happy 11 is such an important warlock level. I get another spell slot.
So you can go ahead if you want to chat in character while you're leveling up. Also, if you choose, you can, for your, as always, for your, you can take the average for your hit dice, or you can roll a die now, re-rolling any ones. And Cantriel, you will notice that while you're singing this song, Yesha has gone to the corner, the far corner. This room was a wedge-shaped room, about 20-25 feet on a side. And she's sort of on the far corner to the southeast of this room. And is sort of huddled up, her knees to her chest. Her hair is caked with a bit of the blood from the attack. Dried blood is on the side of her face. Her clothes are quite saturated with it. She's turning the dagger over and over in her hands. And as you're singing, you see, glistening from the light of Dawnbringer that Griveth always has out, you see tears streaming down her face.
Find my mic first. I absolutely would go over to her and sort of kneel down and sort of like sit myself next to her. Everything all right there?
That's I've never done anything like that before.
You mean the and she'll sort of motion to the bloodied clothes. That?
I've never killed anyone or
Anything.
anything before. I don't even know why I did that.
Cantriel sort of like adjust herself and like move the hair from her face and type of thing and tuck it behind her ear. Sometimes we have to do things we never expected to, for reasons we never understand. Lives were in danger. Our lives were in danger. It may not feel like it, but you did the right thing. You protected the people around you. You saved lives doing what you did.
You all make it look... You make it look so natural and easy. The way you get in there, and I've been watching you. The attacks have been relentless from the creatures of this place. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for all of you.
And now we can say that maybe some of us wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for you. And what looks natural now is extremely unnatural for me not too long ago. I didn't learn how to use one of these things, and she moves the bow, until about a year ago. And that's only because someone had the patience to deal with me and my temperament. I'm not saying you have to keep doing this once we get out of here. But you have a strength inside of you, clearly. That gives us all a fighting chance.
She kind of seems to realize that she's still crying a little bit, and she kind of tries to wipe her.
I'm pulling out a handkerchief and just handing it over to her.
Yeah, because she basically just smears more blood on her face, and
you're going to need this, sweetheart.
And
there's no.
She takes it from you, and she just looks at you, and she says, "Thank you."
You're welcome. If it's any consolation, I threw up my lunch the first time I killed a thing. So you're already doing better than I ever did.
I guess so.
You don't get used to it, you get adjusted to it.
Oh. I mean, there was... When I saw that they were going to hurt you, something just came over me, and I rushed out and just leapt on it, and then this sort of adrenaline just took over, and I went with it.
Well, that's usually how it works when you want to protect someone that you're becoming attached to. Thank you.
Who'd have thought such a little blade could do so much? And she just...
Ooh, this one is ripe. Talmud calls from like on the other side of the room, like as he kind of like rolls one of the big apes kind of over onto its back. These are disgusting. I'm wearing most of them.
Jake, was that conversation overhearable, or was it quiet enough?
Yeah, just as a reminder, Jeremy, you guys are upstairs in a different room now.
Oh, then he calls from downstairs.
He's loud, that one.
wringing blood out of his shirt. Oh.
Yeah, Drown. You definitely would have been able to hear that. They weren't
Okay.
talking like super loud. They were talking in that, realizing you got to be quiet, but it's a quiet
Mhm.
room.
Sure.
So any conversation that's not whispered is heard. And I
So-
imagine Talmud sort of coming into the room with blood on him and just saying that.
I was actually going to try and talk to Talmud, so I don't know how that's all gonna play out.
Real quick in the
Go for it.
interim, while that conversation was taking place, Drown, overheard some as we did. Does she seem sincere when she says she's never killed anything before? A little bit of a long shot. Drown's not the most insightful dude who's ever worked the earth,
Roll
but,
an insight check.
it's a 10.
She seems pretty sincere.
Okay. Thank you. Carry on.
Anybody else? Any other conversations? I think, Thorgarn, you said you want to talk to Talmud.
Yes. So, Talmud, you don't have to, tell me the full tale now. But, you've been carrying Goethe since Granddad gave him to you, gave her to you. And I think, she means more than, just a ye old hammer. That Thorgarn carries, loads of weapons with him. Probably in that, anime unrealistic style. If you look at my character sheet, may I see it? See her?
Sure, I suppose.
So I want to,
Goethe out.
give it a heft. Try to, see where all of the different, where the balance point is. See what I can, figure out. And Jake, you already know what my plan is, for this when we get out of this place. But I'm trying to, build it up and what have you. And part of that is actually kind of knowing the weapon.
Yeah.
Certainly not going to fight with Goethe, but I wanted to go through a couple swings while I'm kind of stretching out some of the kinks from the fight. So when we get out of this place, I've got something that I'd like you to help me with, and perhaps all of our friends here, because you use the axe, but I think you care more about this. And I just might have something that I might be able to do about that. And with that, I just casually toss it back to you.
And kind of catches it and kind of looks at it as if like it was going to reveal what mystery he's talking about, and kind of just places it back onto his back slowly. That sounds very interesting, Thorgarn. I'll definitely help however I can.
Excellent. So at that point in time, he would try to inquire about, the ancestors that Talmud manifests, as well as, what histories Goethe has, and we can, gloss over or get into as anyone decides.
I imagine that's probably a very deep and lengthy conversation, talking about the clan and how far back it goes. It's probably all information that Talmud knows very well. And being dwarven, it's something that I imagine he and Thorgarn go into way too much detail for everyone else in the room. So we can certainly gloss over it.
So I imagine, this conversation kind of ebbs and flows over the next, several rests, short and long, as all of it, is becoming necessary for what Thorgarn is working on, and pretty much, focusing most of his thought waves. And i.e. an excuse for any time that I roll poorly based on, observation. It's because he's got this going on. But that's it. As you were.
All right. Anybody else? Conversations?
I think that Fig during this small respite, has been taking various items out of his hat, various gems and other trinkets, and you see that he is seated almost cross-legged on the floor, very intently staring at these gems, and almost you see him take one and take the other, and you see him try to clap them together, and then when nothing happens, he looks around to make sure that no one saw him try and do that, and kind of puts them away and just or puts them apart and just continues to look at them.
All right. You did have 3 items that were still unidentified. Did anybody want to spend time with those?
Yeah, I'll take one of them. We had dust. What else?
A packet of dust, some gloves, and
Gloves, right.
a set of bracers.
I'll take the set of bracers.
All right, spending time with those, you begin to realize that these are bracers that will magically enhance your archery skills.
Oh, dang.
They are bracers of archery, +2 to damage with ranged weapons.
Well, then Drown will just sort of look over toward Cantriel and Cantriel.
What?
And then just toss the bracers to her. You'll want those.
I will?
Perhaps they will make you even better with your bow.
Okay. She tucks them in her pouch.
So, because Cantriel's already wearing some quite incredible gauntlets.
Yeah.
I don't think Drown's aware of that.
Nope. All right.
And nobody else uses bows, right? Yeah.
No, I'd have to take a look at both of them and see which.
I'll touch one of the other objects or fondle it if if nobody else is. The gloves, I guess.
You can examine it.
Yeah, examine.
Consensually. The dust or the gloves?
The gloves.
Looking at these gloves, they're very thin, so that, and they appear to be made of a very thin and supple leather that you cannot see a visible seam on them. Wearing them would allow you to have complete freedom of dexterous movement, and you realize that these are gloves of missile snaring. Essentially, wearing these gloves while attuned to them, you would have the monk's ability to snatch a missile out of the air and potentially return it.
Okay. Is everybody full up on their attuned items? So essentially, we'd have to trade out an item to get a new item. Because I'm full.
Helmet, Drown is attuned to 3, so.
Okay, yeah, I'm attuned to 3 too.
I think I only have the one. Not that,
Oh, really?
Not that I'm vying for any of it.
Do you want the gloves or the? I mean, the gloves could be pretty cool.
Do you
snatching missiles out of the air?
Do you need a free hand to use them?
Ah.
Yeah, that's
yes.
probably the
Thorgarn usually doesn't have.
Yeah,
I don't think.
so-
That's a good point.
Not that it would be terrible to be attuned to them. Just
What about
a lot of times.
What about Fig? Does Fig have an open spot?
I am overflowing with magic items. Right
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, I don't know what Jake does with magic items that we can't use, whether there's a magic item, trade market, between
Well, you know that you have met at least one person that deals. You've actually met, actually, Cantriel, I think, made contact with both of them. And both of them were tieflings, one in Blazing Dell and one in Salt Marsh. So you know that there is a market out there for magical items.
So, I mean, we could, obviously, we're not going to just, we can't use it now and chuck it. But
Right. Yeah, I guess we can store it.
There's also that packet of dust you guys have.
Anybody else want to check that out?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
The packet looks like it may have at one time held a lot more in it. There is just enough for one pinch of this dust, and it is dust of dryness. You can, as an action, sprinkle this pinch over water, and it turns a cube of water 15 feet on a side into a marble-sized pellet, which then floats or rests near where it was sprinkled. And then later you can use an action to smash that pellet and turn it into, basically release that 15 cubic feet of water.
So this powder defeats water.
Very appropriate. That's
what I'm hearing.
Yes.
So he's just checking over it, and at some point just sort of stops. His eyes go wide. He tucks it into his pocket.
Yep, exactly. It just disappears.
He's like, what is it?
The perfect item.
I think it's, just supposed to be held until you encounter a water elemental.
All right. So, the hour passes. You are rested. You are free to continue on. As a reminder,
back down we go.
So I believe there was nothing but 8 men and stone in those rooms, but we should probably take a look and make sure there's nothing that was hidden.
there are 2 doors in this room where you fought the 2 Giralon, one here and one here. And then looking in here, this large room, there's 1 door all the way down here on the south that Yesha identified. This spot right here is where the trap door is that you are very much aware is there. So do you want to go through to the west where the smaller rooms are, or to the east where the large room full of stone monuments is?
I would say we would look in the room that we encountered the 2 Gorillians, whatever. Check that room, then go check the big room before we move on.
Smaller room first, fair enough.
And Griveth is, worried that these things could try to sneak up on us or attack us or whatever. So he's going to be extra. He's going to be extra cautious about trying to listen for them. And I do have a passive perception of 18, so FYI.
All right, so you're just keeping an eye out in case.
Yeah,
extra.
Yeah,
okay.
Extra careful, looking out and listening for them and that kind of thing.
Constant vigilance.
Yes.
All right. So as you head into the smaller room, I'm not going to make you make an investigation check because you can see these small piles of debris. Once again, Cantriel would notice it right away. Griveth, you would even notice it. Anybody with a passive of 15 or higher would see it. Partially buried in one of these piles is a chest.
Yesha.
Yeah.
There's a chest over there. How would you feel about helping with it just in case?
Yeah, sure.
Just be careful. I mean, if something happens, I'll heal you, but still, don't.
She kind of pauses for a second, like, okay.
Well, I mean, there was the door incident, so.
And yeah. So she heads over there and she kind of moves carefully, like moves some of the debris that's on it, kind of just moving it aside to clear an area around it, clear the chest enough that she can get a good look at it. And somebody roll me a d20.
Can I ask a quick question, guys? Maybe Dan,
17.
maybe Jake or Dan, you guys would know this. If I have the belt of giant strength and I have the ogre gauntlets of ogre power, would that belt cancel out the gauntlets, or would they add together?
Yeah, you just use the belt.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. 17 on the d20.
Okay. So that is going to give her a dirty 20. She kind of looks it over very carefully and kind of looks back at you. No traps. So that's good. And then she starts to reach into her, where her book is and her thieves' tools, and then she stops. And she just reaches out and flips the latch, and it comes undone, realizing that the chest isn't locked. She opens it up, and inside, you see her just kind of go, whoa, and she takes a step back. And she looks over at you, Thorgarn, and Talmud. You seem to be the ones that are the treasurers. Yeah, there's a lot of gold and some gems in here. I'm just going to read off what you find, knowing that you're going to take it. There's 430 gold pieces. 8 blue quartz gems that are each worth 10 gold pieces. There is what looks like a satchel, a bag that you would carry. It appears to be woven of rust-colored yarn. And there is... Where did it go?
Is there anything in the bag?
Looking into the bag, there are a handful of little balls of yarn.
Alrighty then. Is there a crochet hook?
There is not. There is also a bottle of a clear bottle with there we go. What looks to contain, as you look around at it, and kind of move it around, it almost looks like it's bottled smoke. But when you tilt the bottle, the smoke seems to move like liquid.
So it looks kind of like a potion, but smoke instead of fluid?
Yes.
Interesting.
While we're kind of poking around, would it be possible for me to harvest the larger teeth from these gorillons?
You can certainly try. They all have very large, almost like tusks.
Yeah, that's what he's after.
You can go ahead and give me a survival check.
Okay. I'm gonna spend a domain die.
You really want these teeth?
I do. Okay, it's not phenomenal, but that is a total of 9.
You are not very good at harvesting parts from creatures.
Dentistry was never a strong suit of Talmud's. He
You
failed at that school.
in every attempt on these, as you move from body to body, you keep breaking them. You make just a mess of it. Out of all 5 of these Garrulon, you're able to get 1 salvageable tooth. You just make a mess of this. You have no idea what you're doing, Talmud. So you can
Got it. He like lifts up the one that he didn't break. Haha, fine. There we go. He tucks it away.
All right. So you've got some loot. You've got a tooth, and in this room there are 2 doors.
A tooth, but nothing but the tooth?
Yes. There's one to the left and one to the right. Well, stage left and stage right, we'll say. Which door would you choose?
Talmud.
Talmud,
is
the
the
doorman Gadon. You're muted, Jeremy.
We'll go to the one stage left.
All right. Moving to the one
No, left.
stage left. Right. Yes. All right, Laurel and Hardy. Okay. Where did it go? There. All right. You open the door into a room that is 25 feet east to west. The west wall is slightly curved. The room is another 40 feet from north to south. In the middle of this room, one right in front of you and slightly to your left, the other one mostly to the far side of the room, you see 2 round, rusty metal vats taking up much of the floor space in this chamber. The vats are each 10 feet in diameter. They're 4 feet high. The one nearest you is empty, but the other one you can see is filled with an opaque liquid, and you can catch a faint, bitter fragrance rising from it. On the southern and eastern walls of this room, you can see shelves on which there are dozens of glass jars covered in a thick layer of dust, preventing you from seeing what is in these jars.
So Thorgarn is proficient in brewer's tools. This vat you said is bitter. Is that anything reminiscent of alcoholic or totally not in a foodish type vein?
These don't look anything like brewing vats.
Okay.
I will allow you to make a either a nature or history check to see if you can determine what might be going on here.
I think both of those are crap for me, but nature or history. Oh man, this is fantastic.
Anybody could actually make this check if they wanted to, if they think they might.
15 on the die, so that is a 15.
Anybody that thinks they might have a sense, their character might have a sense of what these smells are or whatever, may attempt to discern that through nature or history. Is anybody else attempting?
I was, but I got a 9 again.
I got a 19.
Okay. Thorgarn, you're going into this expecting, almost looking for the smell of hops and barley and other spices and ingredients, and you're not smelling that. You're catching a different kind of bitter. Cantriel, these scents come to you almost second nature. You recognize that the solution in this vat is a mixture of water and vegetable oils. You smell crushed oak bark, sumac, and hemlock. This operation and everything you see in this room is very reminiscent of what you might find in a tannery. As you're looking down into this vat, you can just make out the large humanoid shape that is submerged below the surface. And that is where we are going to end tonight's session. Tonight was a little more typical Dawnbringers, making it through only a couple of rooms.
Yes, well, those rooms had big four-armed,
they had big,
white,
mean monsters
massive things.
that hit really hard.
Giant balls of
Bite and claw.
gorilla beef.
Huge, nasty, pointy teeth.
The beginning of this session could be summed up as, let's go this way. Oh, no. Let's go this way. Oh, no, that's worse. Let's go
The
back this way.
episode title is Nope.
No. So,
Nope, yeah.
if you recall, the title of
Monkeys.
this episode was...
Nope, monkeys.
The title of this episode was Armed and Dangerous.
Yeah,
no.
I wanted a title that would hint at it without giving it away. Many of my title ideas involved using puns and other things that would have totally given it away.
You know, totally love puns.
Well, you had a lot of them tonight. We had a lot of them tonight.
And the Dawnbringers are now level 11.
Woo!
Woohoo.
So I think for a lot of people, level 11 unlocks some new things.
Not for this multi-classer.
Yeah, unless you're a
Spells.
multi-classer. Did you get anything? What did
I got
you?
ability.
What are you?
I have Bard.
What is your level split right now?
For me, I'm 8 and 3.
8 Bard, 3 Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Ted.
I'm 551. So for me, I just got the paladin hit die.
Yeah,
There's extra attack I already had through barbarian. So
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
but literally took on Ranger to make her a little bit more oomph in, using weapons.
All right. And you're building up quite the collection of magical items. You are now technically halfway through the 3rd level of the Spire on your way down. Though you don't really know how many levels down it goes.
we kind of, have an idea from how far I fell.
Yeah, you could try
Thorgarn
to
counted on the way down.
you could try to suss that out. Actually,
1,
Nope.
2, 3.
that wouldn't have.
Fell 120 feet. So,
Yeah, how tall are the ceilings in these
10 feet.
chambers? 10 feet. Oh, that's a lot.
typically you can look at, heights of buildings are usually 10 to 15 feet per.
Well, I take that back because one of the levels I think had a 20-foot vaulted ceiling,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
so they kind of vary.
Okay.
But so that was episode 9. I know I've had a couple questions about this. I am going to be working to get the last several episodes uploaded to YouTube. All of the previous Dawnbringers episodes up through episode 2 of season 4 are available on YouTube, and most of our previous episodes, recent episodes, are still on Twitch, although unfortunately we only go to 2 on YouTube, and that only goes as far back as 4 on Twitch. And with this being another day, that may throw it off. We might be missing episode 4 on Twitch after today. So I will get those episodes uploaded.
Sounds like time for intern to get to work.
Yeah. Except with social distancing and everything, I have all the files.
Oh.
The nice thing about working from home is I can set my other laptop up on the side and get them uploaded, but there was a lot going on in the world for the last few weeks, and I just wasn't interested in uploading anything for that time. for a period of time. All right. Thank you, everybody that tuned in tonight. We had quite a few people that were joining us tonight. Some amazing generosity from trying to go all the way back. Spike. No, let's go back. Tamiko subbed and gifted a sub. Spike subbed and gifted 10 subs. A few new followers, Gamers Theater, Zombie File, both subbed as well. And of course, all of those are domain dice that you earned and you burned. You earned and burned tonight. But thanks to Spike, you're back up. I think you're more than you were when you started the session tonight. So yeah, just a huge thank you to everybody who tuned in. We love seeing you in the chat every week. And even if you don't, if you're not active in the chat, if you're just lurking in the background, we appreciate you just as well. Be sure to, I'm trying to think, today we're going into the holiday weekend. Tamiko, you're still in chat. You guys are playing tomorrow night. Yes. I believe Alan's Curse of Strahd game is still planning on running at 10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And then we've got a couple things coming up. Our episode 2 of our All That Glitters Dungeon of the Mad Mage campaign will be on Monday. You can hit the schedule. I'll get that updated soon. Keep an eye out for in a couple weeks. The Investigator's Guide to the Paranormal, I believe is what it's called. Did I get that right, Em? M's new setting and game that they'll be running on the Sunday night time slot. Lots of good stuff going on. Be sure to check out all of these lovely people on their social medias. And I'm going to end by saying a huge thank you to Scotty, Dan, V, M, Ted, and Jeremy, without whom it would just be me talking to myself for 3 hours. And with that, we're going to end the stream the same way we end every stream. And you can say it with me if you want.
Matilda.
Wash your hands.
Wear your mask.